Welcome, friends, to the sports takeover of the digital news desk every Friday afternoon. We're previewing Packers-Jaguars. So what do you think of the matchup, Admiral Akbar?
Well, Jaguars 2-5, and it could be viewed as a trap game for sure because they have been pretty competitive in a lot of those games, and obviously the expectations coming into this year were not to be 2-5 at this point for that group.
They did pay Trevor $55 million, just like Jordan Love gets.
Sure did, and an extra year on top of that, a good or a bad thing depending on who you ask. A little more security, perhaps, for Trevor Lawrence.
One more year till you get another deal, though. Which,
right.
What will be $100 million a year
that's
after
the flip
these
side.
contracts are done?
That's the flip side. So I don't know. I think Jacksonville's a talented team. You can't take them lightly. You can't go in there thinking you're going to stomp them out. So it'll be an interesting one for sure.
I agree with you. The Packers obviously have heard the messaging from Matt LaFleur that this is a team that's lost games by 3 points, 4 points, and 5 points. They could easily be 5-2. Matt LaFleur told us that before the locker room opened Wednesday, and like every player was parroting the exact same mantra. So obviously that message is hitting home. It's often a league where games are decided by a play here, a play there. The Packers need to make sure that they don't fall asleep at the wheel, because next week could very easily, against the Lions, be for the NFC's #1 seed in the standings heading into their bye week. So the Packers need to get this job done. And Jacksonville at Jacksonville is a matchup that over the years has been a really tough one. It's a weird place to play. Just look at the Colts. I know the Packers are not the Colts. The Colts haven't won in Jacksonville in like 14 straight tries as division rivals. It's just a weird place to play. When they went there in 2016, I was there. It was 100 that day on the field. Goodness. It's not going to be that hot. But the Packers barely beat a bad Jags squad by, I think, 4 points. They got a 4th down stop to preserve the win late. It's just a tough matchup for whatever reason. But they have some players. Who else catches your eye besides Trevor Lawrence?
Well, Brian Thomas Jr. is definitely a name that has popped in recent weeks, that rookie wide receiver for them. Really picking up a lot of steam, a guy that Edgerrin Cooper talked about today, and LaFleur had some kind words for as well, saying that they actually really liked Brian Thomas throughout the draft process. So it could have been interesting if he ended up in a Packers uniform somehow, but instead it's with Jacksonville, and really kind of like the thing that's kind of carrying them right now. I'd say in a lot of ways, a team that's disappointed, but you're going, well, at least we have this rookie wide receiver who could be a big part of the team going forward. So definitely a guy to look out for on Sunday.
Right now it's BTJ over OBJ. The rookie is very, very impressive.
Couple
in the state
LSU
of Florida,
guys. Yeah.
And OBJ down in Miami not having a great year with all their backup quarterback play. In terms of the injury report, the Packers seeing pretty good news there. Doubtful's the designation for Corey Ballantyne, who hasn't practiced this week. But everyone else is good to go except for 3 that are questionable and could very easily play. Quay Walker, working through concussion protocol, working on the field the last 2 days, is questionable, as are offensive linemen Elton Jenkins and Josh Myers. Want to take a stab at a prediction this week?
I'm going to go Packers, but in a closer one than you might think. I'll go let's go 27-24. How about that?
I like it. I like it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Tonight we have Operation Football tackling level 1 of the high school playoffs, the game of the week. Kimberly Appleton North, in case you're saying they just played last week. Yes, they did. They met in the last week of the regular season and the first week of the playoffs last year as well. What will happen tonight? Eric previews it at 6. We'll have all the highlights, reaction, and more tonight.